You're racist and hate straight white men. Oh my god.
I was walking down Las Vegas Boulevard when I overheard these two fat girls complaining that guys only go for dumb girls. So it's time to ignore the politically correct approach and set the record straight. Guys want hot girls. It's as simple as that.
If you're unlike me and you've been on the internet for the last 4 to 5 years, you've probably heard of Drawk Kwast. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but to be fair, neither he nor I have ever heard his name said out loud. But he is one of, if not, YouTube's very first alpha male, and I figured that if I'm going to sit here and introduce myself to the internet, I might as well start close to the beginning. So do the alpha male thing and buckle up. Always have your seatbelt on even if you're not going anywhere. Oh, and enjoy the ride. Why does he look like a not successful Tom Segura?
I was walking down Las Vegas Boulevard when I overheard these two fat girls complaining that guys only go for dumb girls.
Oh,
And they
man.
followed that statement up with the question,
Do you think he knows? Do you think this guy knows that he's also not like a small person? Or do you think he does the Shane Gillis bit where he's like, yeah, but I'm a guy, so it's fine. You're a woman. Fix that.
wouldn't a guy want to be with a girl he can have an intelligent conversation with? Conversations like this drive me nuts, so it's time to ignore the politically correct approach and set the record straight. Guys want hot girls. It's as simple as that. Any guy with any amount of self respect wants to be with an attractive woman.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you shouldn't be attracted to your partner. However, I am going to say that I don't think that at our ages, right? I'm 27. At 27, at mid 20 and above, for the rest of your life, people's looks should not be the first thing you focus on. Will it be the first thing you notice in a stranger who's like half a store away? Sure. Will it be the first thing you notice in a stranger at a bar? Yeah, absolutely. But you ever just had a conversation with someone? You ever just talked to someone? Has anyone ever genuinely made you laugh? The first time someone else made me laugh, I cried. And I had no idea that that's what I was searching for so long. I got lucky in that that person is objectively the prettiest person I've ever seen. And now she's stuck with me. But so many of my relationships, so many of my friends, so many of the people that I care about and that I hope care about me are people who I can sit and talk to. And it has nothing to do with the way they look. I think the only time now where I would take a look at someone and base how much or how little I wanted to be around them just on how they looked would be if it was Mike Wazowski, because I want to be able to be like, I bald, bald, but I also want Mike to be like my best friend and then future lover.
And when I say attractive, I'm talking about what she looks like.
Damn, dude.
Guys don't notice intelligence from 35 feet away, but they do notice a great rack and a tight ass.
I hated that.
That's what gets our attention.
He says that's what gets our attention, like any woman wants attention from him. Like men, brother, all of us have to stop assuming we're the prize. We are not. You ever seen another man? It's like the Mario clip from the Bryn and Mario podcast where he talks about Captain America being really hot and Bryn kind of being like, all right, whatever. Like men think men are attractive. Women typically don't care that much about what you look like. You may have a different experience, but every person, how do I say this? Most of the men I know who default to, oh, I am not attractive, oh, I am short, oh, I am whatever, also do not have the type of personality a partner is looking for. Is it because they're short? Is it because they're not attractive? Maybe, but they also don't have the other side. So we'll never know. We'll never know.
When guys are out on the Las Vegas Strip, given the choice between an intelligent fat girl and a dumb hot girl, we'll pick the bimbo every time. In fact, we won't even get close enough to the fat girl to notice how intelligent she is.
Do you think this person has ever sat down and had a conversation with someone? I don't think this person has ever had a conversation with anyone. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I expect too much of people, strangers, really. I just don't get how you're so comfortable sitting on camera and going, women, you need to be dumb and attractive because if you're fat and smart, we don't care. Alpha men like me who have the ability to choose any inanimate woman I want, I'm always going to go for someone who's hot. So you might as well be. I think I just got lucky. I think I just got lucky. The more I see men like this, the more I think I just got lucky. And somewhere I just zoned out, had a little ADHD moment, and forgot to take a turn into being an incel. Somewhere in my like first 20 years of life, I forgot to go through a phase of hating women.
Given the choice between a dumb hot girl and an intelligent hot girl, the girl with the higher IQ will win my affections, no doubt.
But you know that's not true because people like this have to be the smart ones in a room. If you challenge them at all, they're going to be like, whatever, you're not smart enough for me. My friend Madison goes viral on Twitter a lot, and it's usually for posting about being a software engineer who graduated from Harvard because every time she does, she gets a bunch of lonely men in her replies going, oh, you only got into Harvard because your family has money. And then she goes, no, we did not. Oh, you only got into Harvard because you were a cheerleader. And then she goes, Harvard doesn't accept cheerleaders. You have to become one after you're accepted to Harvard. And so they go, whatever, a college degree means nothing. You can never debate someone with my level of IQ. And so then Madison does what she has done tens of times now, where she offers to let these people come onto her stream and take an IQ test next to her. And not a single person has said yes until very recently. One person said, yes, but you have to debate me on something else afterwards. And she said, cool. We'll both take IQ tests, and as long as we can both get above a 110, we'll do the debate. And then he said no. And somewhere in the replies of her original tweet, you can find him going, I'm just going to tank it and then destroy her in the debate. The thing about people like that is that they're not smart enough to know when they're wrong. And so debating them, arguing with them, is just yelling at a wall. And so Madison, in the tweet that said, cool, we'll both get 110 and then debate, had a bunch of other men. And I do say men because they were men. Like, this isn't theoretical. This is something that happened. She had a bunch of men going, that's not fair. 110 is too high. But 110 is average. It's average, right? It's average. 85 to 115. Average. She's very open about thinking IQ tests are dumb. They're not going to give you any sense of like, oh, you're going to be successful because of. But these are people who put IQs on their Twitter resumes. So they might as well back it up, right? But no, they never do. They never do. They never do. So it's a bunch of men who are just too smart to figure out why they're lonely. Oh, women don't like me, but that's cool because I hate women. Women don't like me because I'm short. Women don't like me because I'm too smart. Women don't like me because I'm too good of a lover. That's what my mom said anyway.
We prefer intelligence, but we crave sex. In our list of priorities, we have to actually want to have sex with you before we even consider your intelligence.
It has to suck to be him and to know that any sex you've ever had has only ever been wanted by one side. He gives me the vibe of somebody who complains about participation trophies without realizing that he is one. As much as it sucks to say, this is someone that someone else is going to settle for. And whoever she is, whoever they are, they deserve so much better. Like we just went through the whole Mario and Brent thing, right? Where I had people in the comments going, she deserves better. And I don't think that's necessarily right. I think if Mario makes her laugh and Mario makes her happy, regardless of whether or not we think he's annoying, that's great for them. I'm sure plenty of people don't like me. I'm sure plenty of people think I'm annoying, but that is completely aside from my relationship.
Amazingly enough, intelligent fat girls don't seem to be able to figure out the most crucial part of this equation.
I'm being a little bit meaner than I've kind of earned the right to be with how the way he speaks, but it's because I already went through the comments and I already saw how he responded to people. So I need you to just believe me when I say he deserves it, and we will get to the comments at the end of this video.
No matter how smart they think they are, if the intelligent fat girls were so smart, they would get on a treadmill at the gym, stop shoveling McDonald's into their pie holes, and get skinny. Now, before you call me a male chauvinist pig, understand that I'm also
these people exist in a world where everything is something that you work towards. You want money? You go get a job and you make it. You want love? You go find a woman who's willing to settle for you and you do it. You work towards whatever it is you want. So now let's look at the other side. If women are to work on their bodies in order to find a relationship, and you're going to tell them that you're the prize, I would never leave my house again. If the best that I could do, according to you, was you, I would never leave my house again. I would spend all of my money door dashing McDonald's. I like McDonald's. I don't get to go very often. I made the comment of like being meaner than I should be right now, but like he has a whole video titled Heterophobia, where he talks about how people are heterophobic. Like if you want to have a straight pride parade so badly, go put one on. Who cares? Go be weird. I'm straight and I will not be attending. It's always the people who talk about other people being too sensitive too.
Talking about the health issues related to being more than 20 pounds overweight. It just so happens that when a woman is in great physical shape, skinny and healthy, guys are more attracted to her.
It's not, right? We've had the conversation of attractiveness being subjective and also cultural. There are plenty of places and plenty of times throughout history where bigger women were seen as more attractive for the sake of having more food. Him, other people, just pearly things, right? I think that's her name, have all brought up this idea that objectively smaller women are more attractive than bigger women. I'm not going to tell you who you should be attracted to. I'm not going to sit here and make the argument of every person being equally attractive. That doesn't make sense to anyone. Like we all have our biases. But I am going to make the point of you should not be this comfortable saying the world thinks like this. I'm just saying it. Because so many of these things are going to apply to you and you're just going to say, nope, not me. If Ashton Hall, the guy that we saw yesterday, completely ripped out of his mind, was saying this, you could at least go, well, he takes care of his body. So it makes sense that he wants someone who takes care of theirs. But when you, how do I say this in like a very just straightforward way? I live a very sedentary life now. I played sports and I worked out a lot until I was like 22, 23. And now I just sit here on the internet. So if you're like me, you don't move too much, but you're not lucky enough to have my metabolism, things happen. That's okay. Bodies change. As you get older, you're probably going to get a little bigger. Happens. But why are you making an entire video about how fat women should be working hard to get a man like you? I'm being very gentle about this. I think there's a very clear filtering happening between the thoughts that I'm having and the words that I'm saying, but there's no way anyone can be on this guy's side, right? We're going to get to the comments. We're going to get to the comments in a little bit. This is not a health issue. This is not a man talking about the risks of obesity, the risks of being overweight, lifespans, none of that. He is saying you should be small so that I find you attractive. That's what we're talking about. And that's stupid.
It's just that simple. We find women who lack the intelligence to balance their caloric intake and the self-discipline to exercise correctly to be very unattractive. Looks are not just a vanity issue. They are an indicator of self-awareness, discipline.
I've never looked at a woman and thought, dumb, imbalanced caloric intake, Celtics fan. That's too many red flags. Never. Also, can we stop with the Jason Tatum disrespect? The man's a great player. I'm from Southern California saying that.
And intelligence. A fat girl's appearance on the outside is a direct reflection of her problems on the inside. So here's my challenge to all of the intelligent fat girls out there. You're smart. Figure out how to get skinny. Show us through your looks that you are worthy of approach.
You gotta stop saying us, dude. You gotta stop saying us. You gotta stop saying us. Not us. Not us. Not us. Or even you. I don't think they want you, dude. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm so wrong. Listen, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna judge you. Do you find this man attractive? If this man spoke this way and approached you, would you entertain him? I'm not gonna judge you. I just want to know. I'm very skewed, all right? I've had this conversation that I actively find men unattractive. I get it. Am I the problem here?
Once you're less than 125 pounds...
Which is insane. My partner's 5'3". She's 98 pounds. She's tiny. But there are plenty of people who are 5'3" and above 120 who are not big people. Like there are healthy weights here, and under 120 isn't healthy for a lot of people.
Unless you're a fucking giraffe, make a comment below and tell me if men seem more interested in having intelligent conversations with you then.
Ah, that was so loud. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm cutting that out so that you don't have to deal with it. But his ending has like a gunshot. And it is so loud. That physically hurt. Hold on. Hold on. Am I just like talking? Am I just yapping? Healthy weight adult women. I've looked at 3 different articles now, and it looks like a healthy weight based on a normal BMI, which I think BMI is a scam, but we don't have to go there. A healthy weight based on a normal BMI of 19 and 24, which is normal weight. 5'0", 97 to 123 pounds. So already at 120, right? 5'7", 121 to 153. 5'4", where's the middle? 5'4", 110 to 140. So the middle there is 125. Yeah, so already 5'4", the average height of a woman in the United States. Healthy weight, 110 to 140. And he wants women to get under 120. So I don't know how to tell you, dude, that it's you. You're the problem. Oh, man. Also, people carry weight differently. I promise you, there are some people out there who are like 150, 160, like 5'4", and you cannot tell. I do think there's a conversation we can have here about men who are more likely to choose women who may be dumber than them. But I think a lot of it ends up just like revolving all the way back to insecurity, and it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter that your partner is a little dumber than you or much smarter than you. Are they people who are able to function? Great. Also, we tend to nitpick the things that we care about when we talk about intelligence. Like, regardless of IQ, there's no one way to tell you how smart someone is and in what situation. Lee, terrible at math. If you gave Lee one of those like multiplication charts you give to first graders and she had a minute to complete it, otherwise I would die. But in every other way, that woman is a genius. Absolutely. And I'm the exact opposite. I'm really, really good at math. What else? I have no attention span. I can't retain information. I'm afraid of the world around me, but I'm good at math. So what am I going to do? Get into an argument with a bunch of women about math and about how if they're not as good at it as I am, they're dumb? No, that would be stupid. What's the actual level of how smart you have to be a good partner? How smart do you have to be to keep your house clean? How smart do you have to be to know how to pay your bills, do your taxes? How smart do you have to be able to function as an adult? And does it matter that you got a 1600 on the SATs if you can't have a conversation with someone? Does it matter that you're full of useless information and read Wikipedia articles every day? That's me. I read like 2 to 3 random Wikipedia articles a day just because I don't have an attention span and I'll click on them. But does that matter? But nowhere in my life does that come up. Nowhere do I say, this makes me smart. One of the biggest problems here is how you gauge people's intelligence. These are people who want to have conversations that seem smart but aren't. These are people who read one very specific article about the noise frequencies that humans and animals can and can't hear. And then if you didn't read that exact same article and have the exact same information, well, then you're dumber than them. It's a waste of time to go around and wait for people to be who you want them to be. Have conversations. Talk to people, fall in love. And if you need people to be a certain level of attractive before you talk to them, okay, sure, whatever. Keep it to yourself. Or at the very least, how do I say this? At the very least, dude, be to them who you want them to be to you. If you are going to go out of your way to only entertain people you think are attractive or powerful, then maybe you should be that yourself. I've talked so much about my time online and my time on Twitch. The amount of people I've seen meet up in groups IRL and then only talk to like the bigger streamers has always irked me a lot. You should treat people with the respect of being people. Hi, my name is Max. Hi. Hi. Walk in a room, shake everybody's hand. Or the opposite, because sometimes I am just like overwhelmed and I do get a little shy. And so I just don't interact with anyone. But I would never include or exclude someone simply based on the number of followers that they have or the amount of engagement they get or whether or not they have a little Twitch badge next to their name. If you're going out of your way to not talk to people, romantic or not, based on what you think their level of attraction is, you're probably just a dick. And not a pretty one. We're going to go through the comments because these are nuts, dude. The amount of how do you say this out loud that is coming? Dumb women are easy to get is an insane comment. You realize that women, regardless of level of intelligence, have to like you back, right? On some level. Or be willing to give you a chance. Isn't that the same gender vice versa? This is anecdotal, but I think I've met plenty of women who genuinely don't care about what you look like, but want you to be funny or charming or charismatic in some way. And I think a lot of people fall short of that. And then they go, oh, it's because I was ugly or it's because I'm short, rather than being like, I could work on my humor. I could work on my personality. I could work on whatever. And they all default to being like, I'm a nice guy. Yeah, sure. Plenty of people are. Like, that's not good enough. It wouldn't be good enough for you, so it shouldn't be good enough for the people you're pursuing. I believe this to be very true. The only reason why the video has more dislikes than likes is because more fat people viewed it. Oh, I'm sure, dude. I'm so sure. That's dumb. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. That is just so dumb. Every time I've tried to have an intelligent conversation with a woman, I've left them feeling dumb. So if they're going to be dumb, they might as well be hot. You aren't talking to the right women. I think what's more likely here is that he is talking to women who do not want to entertain him. And so they nod their head and he goes, oh, you just don't get it. I remember when I was 18, my first year of college working at Pizza Hut. There's this guy named Jason who thought he was really, really funny. Whatever. Jason was like 27, 28 at the time. Jason walks in the back while I'm washing dishes and he makes a really dumb joke. And I nod my head and he goes, whew. Straight up, the first time I've ever seen someone do this. And I went, And Jason goes, went over your head, didn't it? And I went, Jason, I understood the joke. I just didn't think it was funny. And that's the vibe these people give me. That they talk and they have these conversations that they think are so smart, but the other person doesn't. And the other person doesn't want to be mean, so they just nod their head. Interesting. Cool. Wow. Whoa. Didn't think of that. No, you're so right. They're Romanian. They shouldn't be arrested in Florida. I didn't think of that. This is the one that like did not sit right with me. And there's missing context. I think it's probably an account that has been deleted. Thank you for your explanation. Still, I know one guy who claims that girl must be hot and dumb for him to be attracted. Are you can read that yourself. Nowhere in the video did I say that. What is it with you leftists? Why can't you just deal with reality? You cannot call this reality, dude. Like, you are not a prize. I'm sorry. Like, that has nothing to do with the way that you look. That is just, one, I don't think that we should think of ourselves as prizes for women to try and gain. Also, this entire talking point is disgusting, regardless of the way that you look. So you are not living in a reality. Cute and dumb as a bag of hammers is the way, which is, I'm not sitting here trying to be like some sort of savior or advocate. I'm really not. This is just the conversation that we're in. You're infantilizing women at this point. I want them to be attractive enough for me to stay, dumb enough for me to be able to fix their problems. I want to unplug the fridge and be the hero when she can't figure out why the fridge isn't working. I want to over tighten the jars and be like, I'm the only man that can do this for you. This too. As a guy with an IQ of 130, I could tell you, I absolutely hate it when my girl is dumb. She doesn't have to be on my level of near genius, like brother. There's no way any actual smart person sat through this video and tried to make a rational comment. It should be able to participate in deep, complex conversation. I'm going to let you read this if you want. I'm not going to read it out loud, but this is the type of dude who's like, I have an IQ of 130. I want my kids to be smart like me. I'm here to figure out if I'm dumb or smart because I'm surprised he thinks I'm dumb, although attractive. My sister also thinks I'm dumb. He showed off that his cousin works doing engineering and I do accounting, which is basic, and I act super weird and immature, which I agreed on. I'm also quiet most of the time. I think he's going to leave the more weird I am, the more he gets turned off. Find someone who likes you. From what I'm guessing, your IQ is about 83 plus or minus 7. So you're saying that they're under average and they're an accountant. Oh, this is so weird, dude. Why don't you get on a treadmill yourself? Or are you rich? I own 3 companies. Feel like trying to cancel me? I'm waiting. Yeah. Let's say for the sake of argument that I'm overweight. Let's say for the sake of argument that I'm overweight. Those are his words, not mine. This video is just crazy to me because look at you, LMFAO. You're racist and hate straight white men. Oh my god. She's too worried about your looks and not about your looks. And she's too worried about your looks and not about your looks. And not the knowledge in this video, just ridiculous. Okay. Okay. This is the last one I'm reading because it's just weird to me. Like, this is interesting. LMAO, the fact that you're talking about how guys go for hot girls when you're in your mid 50s and also overweight. I try not to guess people's ages because I'm really bad at it. Like, I'm going to assume he's not 20, right? But I have no idea. This man could be anywhere between like 40 and 60. And I would just nod my head. If you were like, he's 60, I'd be like, okay. If you told me he was 40, I'd go, oh, yeah. No idea though. I'm neither in my mid 50s nor am I fat, but even if I was, let's say I'm 90 and 300 pounds overweight, what is your argument against anything I said? You don't have one. You're resorting to calling me names. Ugh. What is funny is that as the comments of my videos fill up with people who can't make a logical, articulated argument against anything I say, it becomes apparent how correct I am. You also assume that all women are exactly the same, and you ignore that a lot of people date others who are not as conventionally attractive as them. You make a lot of illogical generalizations. I was just making fun of the fact that it's usually pseudo-intellectual Reddit incels like you who criticize women for their appearances when you look like Eggman from Sonic a couple decades into the future. Here's a transcript of the video. Good God. You said, I assume that all women are exactly the same, yet nowhere in the transcript did I say that. She didn't quote you, did she? You assume, yeah, that was not a quote. That's you saying there's fat women who aren't attractive, there's skinny women who are. Congrats, you made two groups. His question, wouldn't a guy want to be with a girl he can have an intelligent conversation with? And your answer, a lot of people date others who are not conventionally attractive. That was a line you said after an entire video about women's attraction levels. Pseudo-intellectual Reddit incels like you criticize women for their appearance when you look like Eggman from Sonic. There's a bunch to unpack there. I didn't say it. I'm not going to say it. All right. I've done a really good job of not commenting on people's bodies because I don't do so IRL. And I'm not going to do it here. I'm a 2-time best-selling author. Yeah, his book has 126 reviews, which I'm not going to say is a little, but it's definitely not best-selling. In a world that has been absolutely polluted by socialism, political correctness, and complacency, Drawk Kwast stands as part of a dying breed of real men known as alpha males. That's my alpha. Can you show me any posts on Reddit written by Drawk Kwast? This is the problem with people who are like, oh, you fall into ad hominem. You don't attack any of my arguments. They're attacking your arguments, and then you are attacking their specific wording. Calling someone a Reddit incel doesn't mean that they are someone who goes on Reddit and makes a bunch of incel talking points. It means they give a vibe of Reddit incel. And that's not difficult. But when you say that to someone, they go, actually, I've never posted on Reddit. Right, you've also never met a woman who liked talking to you, but that's not the conversation we're having. And if I am an incel, how was it that I lived in Vegas for years teaching guys how to pick up and bang women on the Vegas Strip? I got paid $10,000 per student for that. Finally, you say I look like Eggman from Sonic. You don't have a single coherent and logical argument against anything I said, so you're calling me names. That only makes it obvious you have no argument. I can see that your YouTube account was created 5 seconds ago. Go home, child. I learned this around the time that we got to Breakdancing Dad. I learned that regardless of who you are, ideas that you have, or the way that you are going to present them, you are going to find an audience. So I've learned to reel myself in and say, there is absolutely no way I'm going to be right about everything it is that I have to say, regardless of what that is. And so sometimes I'll post a video and I'll get a lot of agreement from my comments and I just nod my head at them. It's like anything else. I've also had plenty of people like reach out to me lately and be like, "Oh, you're doing so well. That's so cool to see. Can I do a video with you?" And I go, "Yeah. Yeah, I would love to do that. Yeah, I'll be on your channel." And they go, "Oh no, I want to be on yours." And I go, "Oh, we don't have the same kind of vibe, dude." Which is just true. Anyway, sorry. No attention span. Again, I just have no attention span. Whatever it is you have to say, you're going to find an audience to listen to you say it. This man amassed a very, 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 very solid 135 subscribers and just as many comments agreeing with him. I have said on this channel so many times, I'm not any smarter than the average person. I'm not anything more special. I don't have anything too deep to say. I can talk about my experiences in life with my partners, with not having parents, with being someone who had to raise my little sister for a little while. And I can just very honestly sit here and relay my experience. But I don't think I am any smarter than the next person. I maybe have just gone through stuff they haven't, and they have gone through plenty of things that I haven't. But then I find men like this, and I struggle to just hold on to that idea. And I'm going to because it's a hard line for me. I'm probably not any smarter than this guy. But at the very least, I think I am a little bit more likable. And I'm going to leave it there. I did want to get to another one of his videos because this one's really short. It's only 4 minutes, but I've been yapping for about an hour and a half now. So I'm going to cut this down and we will absolutely revisit this man, this best-selling author, alpha male. Man, thank you all for spending time with me. There are plenty of things that I want to do, but I have not been able to find the time to do them. I want to go through Sarah Kim's podcast, but they're up to like 7 episodes at this point because I know people are mad at her husband for pretty much not having a job for 2 years. And so I want to take a look at that. If you got this far, thank you for spending time with me. This is my favorite thing to do. You're my favorite people to do it with. And I hope that I get to do it for a long time. That's it. No Family Guy cutaway. Just me saying goodbye.